Okay, so a lot of the time, simply saying think bad because of capitalism is simply not enough. And this is what Ilyenkov points out in his work, The Dialectics of the Abstract and the Concrete in Karl Marx's Capital. And he urges us to study every subject matter concretely. And this is why he teaches us the method of going from the abstract to the concrete. He ascertains that abstraction is the necessary part. We have to be able to make concrete abstractions, just like Marx did in Capital, in order to develop his theory of value. So we do also need to do that. We also need to see the concrete in its fullness. And we can only do that when we engage very thoroughly with the subject matter. That does not mean, just as I keep on mentioning, that doesn't mean that we should pile on examples one after another and we should be able to see every single instance of certain occurrence in order to understand its logic. Most of us can very intuitively see when some piece of art is worthwhile or not. Especially if we consider ourselves the enjoyers of a certain art form, we can tell. We listen to a piece of music, we watch a movie, we read a book, and something is just off. It may have all of the elements of what we usually enjoy, but sometimes it may still be lacking. This may be the case of where the whole is lesser than the sum of its parts. And more often than not, just as I kept on talking about last year, this may be because the artists themselves may not be fully aware of what it is they're trying to communicate. And this is the question of ideology, because none of us are free from ideology. And that means that if we fail to examine our own preconceptions, our own ideology, then we're going to inevitably, unfortunately, sometimes speak gibberish, because art is a means of communication. Art is what we are trying to say without stating it explicitly. Oh, this is how I'm suffering. Oh, this is the ills of the world that I hate. Oh, this is great and amazing, and I want to share this great and amazing feeling with you, or this great and amazing truth with you. And this can be communicated beautifully and rightfully using different art forms. However, in many cases nowadays, people become preoccupied with whether something is going to sell or not. And this is not because people are inherently materialistic in the common sense, not in the philosophical sense, but this is not any individual's fault necessarily. It is the outcome, the expected outcome of living in a production system such as capitalism. If we do not want art to be such trash, as I keep on saying, then we need to change the way we produce our life. We cannot just treat the symptoms. The way art is a symptom of a bigger problem, bigger issue. But just as I asserted at the beginning of this video, we have to examine still the underlying conditions that are necessary, the prerequisites that are necessary for certain art forms to appear. For example, the lowbrow type of art that nowadays may be very popular within the youth communities, they may oftentimes communicate that anguish and pain in the same way that a lot of young people communicated their anguish and their angst in the past. The forms may have changed and the forms may be less aesthetically pleasing to some of us, but it doesn't take away the message, right? Now, we can decipher the message, we can still understand what the artist is trying to communicate, and we may still dislike the form. This is completely normal. Now, Hegel, as far as I remember, was the one who insisted that the form and the content should be in unity in order for the art form to be this ideal form or this essential form. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe Hegel didn't say that. But I agree. I think that the form and the essence or the content become one when we are given the correct circumstances. But I agree with this statement. I think that the form and the substance or the essence or the content, they become in unity when we are able to communicate the truth in a beautiful manner. Now, again, it can be an ugly manner if we so choose, because there are different forms, again, that may or may not be pleasing to everyone. Now, whether there are objective markers of the truth and objective markers of beauty, I think there is no debate around this. Most of the people will be drawn either to the modern ideal or to the opposite of the modern ideal, which is going to necessarily communicate that subversion, right? The subversion is still the adherence to the ideal. You cannot invent something that doesn't exist. You can only invent something based off of what already is present. And I've already talked about this before, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to continue talking about this, because I am a huge lover of different types of arts, especially literature. I dabble in writing myself, and I'm planning on doing more of this. The book club that I started a year ago has been revived once again, which makes me immensely glad, because I love sharing my passion for literature with other people. So let me know if you're interested in discussing any particular literature. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day today. Consider supporting me on Patreon. Do take care of yourself and your community first. Subscribe to me on all the other social media accounts, even though I don't do much there. And I'll talk to you sometime later.